or something, you know?
Fred, tell me about your situation.
Well, I was laid off my job and for about 4 or 5 weeks. And I finally did get a job, but by that time, the kids had been taken away from me. And during that course of time, I just didn't have too much food in the house or anything else of that nature. It's one of those things that can't be helped sometimes, and you just ain't got no money, and you just can't buy it. But however, me and my wife, did go out and pick up baubles and also pecans to sell them just so the kids would have food. Our son was available to get more food. He was going to a program, a Head Start, and our daughter wasn't able to get as much as was appropriate, I guess.
Judy, did you suffer from lack of food?
No. I mean, my kids, now my son, he'd eat beans, dried beans when I cook them. But our little girl was too young to eat any. So I have to buy her baby food. And baby food was so high, I could just buy a certain kind.
And you had 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
But you did go without food, babe. So.
Tell me about how you related to those children while you were in economic hardship. What happened with the children? Obviously, Fred and you were at home, and the children were at home, and you were all there in one knot, so to speak. How did you react to the children?
Well, we took them wherever we went. We took them, or else we took them out and played. And then when my little girl started losing weight, we didn't know what to do, and we called an agency, and they said they couldn't help us. And they gave me an appointment to go to this other agency in November, which was 2 months later.
Did you ever abuse your children?
No, sir.
In other words, it was a matter of their being malnourished.
Malnourished, the whole family's malnourished, really. I mean, my wife's big, but she's always been big. She did lose weight during this time, too. I lost weight. But as far as sufficient food in the house, no. I mean, what I could get, and that was it.
What kind of work did you do?
Well, I was a mechanic, and then I was laid off because of some difficulty between the man and his wife, and they got separated. Now, she didn't want me down there, and all this, that, and the other. I don't know what it was all about, but she just didn't want me down there at that station, and so he laid me off.
Who took your children away from you?
DPNS.
Why?
Well, they only took Diane first. Oops. But that was because some friends of ours, or they used to be friends of ours, came over, and the house that we got, which we're buying now, they wanted to rent because their niece had just moved out of that house, and they wanted to move into it. We had already moved into it before they got there, and two of them were drunk, and one of them wasn't when they came up to the house that day. And they went over to DPNS and turned us in. Then that afternoon, they come and picked up our daughter.
Hold on just a second. How are we on film, Harold? Do you consider your children to have been mistreated?
No.
Do you think that you should have been allowed to keep them if you couldn't feed them?
No, but like I said, now we tried to get help, and we couldn't get any help.
Who did you try to get help from?
DPNS and food stamps.
And Catholic Charities also. They gave
Well, I
us,
went there.
yeah, well, they gave me 3
us
cans
something.
of peas, and that was it. And I'd been out of a job 2 weeks then. There is a need for something to be set up
Was it
this wouldn't
rough
happen.
trying to live together in a house with you out of work and probably frustrated over not being able to find a job?
Well, usually I was out most of the time picking up pecans, was doing things like this, and sometimes we was all out together. And then sometimes I just went out and went hunting for jobs. I tried 28 of them. My wife was one that finally landed me the job that I had got.
If nobody had come to pick up your children, do you think that you would have been able to feed them, care for them?
Well, I believe we would have had to take the daughter to the hospital. A friend of ours had pointed out that she did look too skinny for her age, and we said we was going to take her to St. Jude's the following Friday when I got paid.